What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
What's going on, everyone?
It's Monday night, and you know what Monday night means? Not Monday night football. Tonight, it'll be a Monday night throwdown
Mm.
because we got two movies to talk about.
Yes, sir.
And as you saw in the chat there, it's about to get good. Oh my God, why is it showing the fucking mouse cursor?
Oh, no.
Because I'm an idiot. That's why. Oh, look, it's still there. Oh.
We've never done this before.
Yeah, never ever in a million years have we done this before. So, Steven, what are we talking about?
Well, we are talking about The Raid, otherwise known as The Raid Redemption. We're also talking about Heat. Which one are we talking about first?
Well, dealer's choice.
Let's go The Raid first.
Okay. Not a bad choice.
So, a little background info on it, of course. Came out in 2011. It's an Indonesian action crime film directed and edited by Gareth Evans. It stars Iko Uwais, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't know how to say that. It has a runtime of 101 minutes. The budget was 1.1 million, and at the box office, it made 9.3 million.
Okay, so I'm just going to say this off the rip. The fact that that movie only had a budget of $1.1 million immediately adds a half a point to my score.
Okay. So we're at a half right now. It also has a sequel, The Raid 2, which is also really good, or I think is really good. We'll see what Heavy thinks about the original. But basically, the basic plot summary is it's about a guy. He's a cop. He's in a unit. They stage a raid on this building that is occupied by a like a drug lord type deal. That's also
he's more
really,
like a crime boss.
Yeah, like a murdering psychopath.
Yeah. Think the
guy.
mafia.
And the whole building, it's like a bunch of it's like an apartment complex. So it has a bunch of tenants and shit, some of whom aren't involved in what's going on, but a lot of the criminals are also in that building. And so they literally have to work their way through the building floor by floor, dispatching of all these baddies.
I gotta say, it's a lot of goddamn criminals that live in this shitty apartment building.
Now, the reason I love this movie so much are obviously the fight choreography.
Mm-hmm.
The action scenes in this movie are, I think, some of the best. Like the fight choreography, hands down. You see all of the action, you see everything that's happening. It all looks legitimate because it's all based off of an actual martial arts silat, SILAT, and that's the type of martial arts they use in Indonesia. So, and the main actor, is trained in it, so he knows what the fuck he's doing. He actually also choreographed all of the fight scenes, which is really fucking cool. But the way it's shot, it's shot with this I guess they're using a handheld, but so it kind of makes it feel more I don't know, kind of up close and visceral, I guess would be a good word for it, which I enjoy. But it's not like the shaky bullshit. There's a little bit of where it'll have the
but it's for dramatic effect.
Yeah, it's like the aesthetics of it, but it's not shaking the fuck out of the camera when somebody's throwing a punch. There's none of that shit.
Yeah,
it's really fucking good. The fight scenes are just there's one fight scene between the two brothers and the guy Mad Dog. That's his name. And Mad Dog, whoever played that character, is great because that guy just looks evil. He just looks like a fucking bad guy. But that fight scene lasts, I don't know, damn near 10 minutes, it seems like. And it's just insane. So I love it. I think it's a great movie. What did you think?
Well, let's see where to start. It's in a different language, so that automatically chops off a point. It was dubbed in English, and it was a pretty well done dub over, so regains half a point. So we're up to a full point at the moment. Like you said, dude, some of the best hand-to-hand combat fight scenes that you're going to see anywhere, hands down. So it wasn't a bad movie. It did keep me engaged for the vast majority of the movie. The plot lines kind of played like, hey, we're a police force. We're going after a bad guy, and he's got a bunch of fucking henchmen that are going to come out and kill us. Now, they did use some interesting stuff as far as like I'm a gun guy. I like guns. I have guns. So seeing some of the guns that I really like in use, and it's not AR-15s on everybody's hip. Somebody's got something different. That was pretty cool. But for the most part, it was entertaining, but it wasn't like I wasn't invested in the movie. You know what I'm saying? And mostly because I hate fucking subtitles. So anything I have to read, that's why I went and found a dubbed version, because I started watching and I was like, fuck, I'm not reading through this whole movie. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was the last movie I saw that was in a foreign language, and I literally passed out in the theater 5 minutes in because I was like, fuck, words are exhausting. And then I was out. So I couldn't tell you whether that was a good movie or not. I don't know. I only saw the first 5 minutes, and it was boring as fuck. But I don't know. I wasn't invested in it. It was a played out storyline, but on the flip side, it had really good fight scenes. I don't know. It seems pretty quick to go to a rating.
Well, because I'm going to make a counter argument.
Okay.
You say that the story is played out, which, okay, I concede 100%. However, the genre of movie this is, name me a film that is in this genre that the story is not completely played out. Like John Wick is literally a country song.
Yeah.
His wife dies, his dog dies, he kills everyone.
Exactly.
So and the fight scenes in this are just as good, if not better, than the fight scenes in John Wick. The way they're choreographed, the way they're handled, the intensity of them, right? The way they're filmed.
Let me put it to you like this. Let me throw this perspective at you real quick. I have never seen a John Wick movie.
Well, I know what we're doing next week.
No, I've never seen any of them.
Are you shitting me?
Not even the first bit. I've seen the trailers.
Dude, we've got to do John Wick.
I'm not a fan of Keanu Reeves.
Did you like The Matrix, or have you seen that? Or did you like it?
Yeah, the storyline was based on the fucking Bible, but, other than that.
Well, Neo is the one.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know, man.
So, do you not like...
I thought... Okay.
Like, I know you like action movies, but are you more of, like, gun action, or do you like the hand-to-hand, like, martial arts?
Yeah, I mean, fuck, we gave Warrior a 10. It's literally about MMA.
Right, but even then, the fighting was kind of not really the focus of the movie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the fight scenes weren't the focus of that movie. It was more about the story, and
but they were still very well done.
Very well done.
Yeah.
But that was more of a drama, I would say, front and center. Right? Whereas I'm talking just a regular old martial arts, like a Jet Li movie, or
like a shoot 'em up movie or something.
Yeah, you're into those.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, in the vein of those films,
but this one wasn't. This one wasn't strictly a throwing hands movie. There was a lot of gunplay in it. There was a lot of exterior violence. The dude throws a fucking grenade in a which by the way would never fucking work. It would have incinerated that fucking refrigerator.
What about the where he grabs the dude's head and jumps back on that little like I guess it's like the elevator
Oh yeah,
and there's all the jagged wooden shit, dude.
yeah,
That was like a fucking horror movie kill right there.
yeah. I wish we could break this into quarters because I'd like to give this one a 4, but because I can't give it a 3, I think it's worthy of a 3.75, but I don't think it's worthy of a 4, so I'm going to give it a 3.5.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't horrible. I mean, there wasn't anything bad about the movie per se. It was just, I don't know. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't one of those where I felt like, oh shit, I'm in danger. You know.
Man, I disagree. I think this is one of the best like action fight martial arts movies of like the past 10, 15 years. I think it's up there. Way up there. I give it a 4.5.
Jesus.
Yeah. And the only reason I'm giving it a 4.5 is because I think the sequel has even better fight choreography. I don't give a fuck about the story in these kind of movies. This is a movie where I shut my brain off and I just watch what's on the screen. So like I'm not like as long as it's filmed competently, all I care about is how the action is handled, and it's handled flawlessly.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad movie by any means. It's if it's free to watch somewhere, go watch it. Right, but I don't know. I was just when we were talking about the movies that we were going to watch, we said Heat. And I was like, okay, I've never seen Heat. It's Pacino. It's De Niro. I know I'll like that. So at least I've got that. And then you started going on about how good the martial arts were and the hand-to-hand, the choreography, and all that kind of shit. And I was like, okay, that seems more like my movie just because it's kind of a dumb movie, right? It's a dumb, oh, he punched him so hard in the head type deal. So I thought I would like it a lot more. I guess maybe I set my expectations slightly too high.
Yeah, I can see that. This, it
wound up with a solid 8. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me because I thought this movie would be like literally right up your alley. Well, but I mean, the only thing I didn't consider was the fact that it's subtitled.
Yeah. Well, I found a version that was overdubbed.
Yeah. But even then, that kind of takes you out of the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
No matter how good the dubbing is, like, it kind of takes you out. So that may have been it
I could never watch a movie where there's no conversation. And that leads us into the next movie we're going to talk about, which had a ton of conversation in it. It was is the movie Heat, starring... Take it away with your wealth of knowledge.
Here we go. Heat is a 1995 American crime film written, produced, and directed by Michael Mann. Fun fact, the first episode of Two Guys in a Trailer we did a movie called Collateral. That was also a Michael Mann film.
Yep.
So now we've got 2 on here. Stars Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer. And it's got some other people too. It's got Ashley Judd in it. John Voight. It's got a shitload of people in it.
Natalie Portman's in it.
And
she's young in this one.
It's got a runtime of 170 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just shy of 3 hours. Budget of $60 million, and at the box office it made $187.4 million. So I'm gonna call that a success.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
Well,
I kind of took the lead on Raid. So what did you think of Heat?
Okay. So all the major things that I look for in a good movie were there, right? It had good action. It had a huge, like a double shitload of stars, right? The cast was perfect. It's got Pacino in it. Can't say good enough things about Al Pacino. It had Robert De Niro in it, and it had several other people that played their roles very well. What took me completely out of this movie was Val fucking Kilmer. Fuck that guy. The first half of the movie, he says 3 words. And it's when he's screaming at his wife in the the scene where he walks up to her, she's sitting by the pool counting money. That's literally the most conversation he had. Like, I don't know. I don't like Val Kilmer. I never have, and I never will. But other than him, this movie was really, really good. I think, and this is my personal opinion, maybe unpopular, I think that Pacino plays a better cop than De Niro. So that's why he was put there. And De Niro is probably one of the best bad guys you'll ever see in your life.
Absolutely.
Because he always feels like, I cannot look at Robert De Niro without thinking Goodfellas or, any of the 100 gangster movies he's in. He's a fucking gangster to me. He's a real bad guy. He knows how to play that role. And the same with Joe Pesci.
I was about to say Joe Pesci's the other one.
Joe Pesci's the same way. The guy that plays fucking Paulie in Goodfellas. Every time I see him, that dude's a gangster. He can't play anything else. So I think the casting was great. The storyline was really good. If it was not for Val Kilmer, which fuck that guy, I would have liked this movie a hell of a lot more. I'm still going to go a little bit higher than most people would expect on this one. And another thing that drove me nuts about this movie, it's all based on the West Coast. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, but Robert De Niro does not seem like a West Coast dude to me. He is East Coast all the way, right? Because he's got that Italian gangster kind of vibe to him. Pacino's a lot the same way. His fucking accent does not go with the West Coast. Had this been shot in New York, I think it would have been a lot better.
Well, one of the reasons it was shot where it was shot is that
if you say because Val Kilmer said so, I'm gonna fucking take a point off.
Because Val Kilmer said so. No,
well,
because this movie is actually based loosely on a true story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's based on the true story of Neil McCauley, which was a criminal and ex-Alcatraz inmate who was tracked down by Detective Chuck Adamson in 1964. It has, like, they met up for coffee, just like in the film. The dialogue in that scene is based off of the conversation that they had, and he was, I don't think he was shot by the detective like it is in the movie, but he did catch him at gunpoint or some shit soon after that. So it was based loosely on a true story. So that's why it was, I guess, shot where it was shot. I personally am a huge fan of Michael Mann. Like, I gave Collateral a 5.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite movies. I love this fucking movie.
And now, when we're talking Michael Mann, are we talking the same Michael Mann that's in the Tarantino movies?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure, because I've always associated the two as the same person, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, no, it's the same guy. But what was I was trying to pull something up. Damn it. Okay.
And
anyway.
the more I think about it, and especially now that I know it's loosely based on a true story, I think I'm going to go slightly up from what I was at on my rating. I'm probably going to give it a half a point just for that. And, well, take away the minus half a point for it being on the West Coast.
Now I'm trying to make sure that that is the same Michael Mann. It may not be.
That's what I'm saying.
I could be wrong. I could be totally fucking wrong. I don't know. Which movie is Michael Mann? Is he in Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah, he's in Reservoir Dogs. He's in um,
Hold
shit.
on.
He's in all of them.
Yeah, and I've always thought it was the same fucking dude. But if I'm wrong, then I'm. It's not Michael Mann. It's Michael Madsen.
That's in all those movies.
Yep.
What?
And they kind of almost look similar.
No way.
Yeah, I just pulled it up. That's weird. I've always thought that they were the same person.
Those are not the same people.
They're not. That's what I'm saying. Michael Mann is the director. Michael Madsen is the actor.
God damn.
Isn't that weird?
That is fucking crazy.
But so disregard that.
Anyways,
But Michael Mann as a director, he's done some phenomenal movies, and I think this is one of them. I personally don't have a problem with Val Kilmer. I didn't really like him until I saw what's the movie with him and Robert, or what's his fucking name? Robert Downey Jr. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
never saw it.
They did a movie together, and that movie's fucking hilarious. Like Val Kilmer plays like a hitman type dude, and he's gay, and so they all just refer to him as Gay Perry throughout the whole movie, which is hilarious. But anyway, so after I saw that movie, I kind of started liking Val Kilmer a little bit as an actor. Before that, I really didn't give a shit. But so that doesn't really affect me at all in this movie. But the way this movie's directed, the action scenes, like the heist scenes and shit like that, they're done really well. The acting, to me, this is like one of Pacino and De Niro, both of their like one of their best performances. Especially that coffee shop scene where they have their little confrontation.
Yeah.
That is a fucking badass scene, right? Because it shows, like, it almost makes you know how the movie's going to end, right? You know the good guy has to win, the bad guy has to lose. But that scene in and of itself shows you that those two guys, like, for both of them, they're just doing their jobs. It's not like either one of them wants to kill the other one out of malice, right? And at the end of it, you almost feel like if De Niro had gone a different way, they would have ended up being fucking friends. You know, like they would have been friends if circumstances were different. So,
well, there was two scenes in this movie that you really don't see anymore, and one of them is super realistic, and the other one is like should be done more often, right? And they're both inside the first hour of the movie. The first one that I found the most impressive about this movie was when they go knock over the fucking they go to steal the paperwork, the bearer bonds out of the armored truck, right? When they bring that 18-wheeler in and they hit that armored truck, it literally just falls over and slides, which is exactly what it would do in a real scenario. It wasn't like they hit it and the fucking truck blew up and the shit rolled over 7 times and shit like that. That's legit how it would happen. It would hit that fucking thing and it'd fall over and it'd slide a little ways and that'd be the end of it.
yeah.
So the fact that they didn't over dramatize a huge fucking train wreck like that was impressive. And number 2, you hardly ever see the cops get outsmarted and then figure out that they've been outsmarted when they're in the thing and they're in the shipyard and he's like, there's an exit and blah, blah, blah. And they get in the car and drive off. And then the cops get down there and they're like, well, what the fuck were they looking at? There's a dump over here and a fucking chemical plant over here. And Pacino goes, I know what they're looking at. Us. They got us. And he's sitting up there taking pictures of them. Like, You hardly ever see the cops get outsmarted and then figure out they've been outsmarted. Like, they've been outsmarted a million times, but for them to figure out, fuck, they got us.
Well, and that's the thing I really like about it is it shows that neither one of them, like neither De Niro or Pacino, neither one of them are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what makes it such a good, like, cat and mouse story, is because both of them are intelligent. Neither one of them is just completely fucking dumb. I was going to say a different word, but I'm not going to say that word.
Retarded?
Yep. And that's what kind of keeps it engaging, because they're constantly exchanging the upper hand, right? Like, one will get the upper hand over the other, and then the other one, it seems like he has the upper hand, and that's kind of what keeps you engaged. But so for me personally, like, there's nothing about this movie that I didn't like. Maybe it's a little too long. That's the one critique I would throw out. I don't think it had to be 3 hours long.
Yeah, it's slightly drawn out.
It probably could have maybe spent a couple more days in the editing room, and you could have probably got it down to about 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I would say.
But I will say this, for an almost 3 hour movie, it carried itself fairly well.
Yeah. It's no Irishman.
No.
Right.
Oh my God.
So for that, I'd give this movie a 4.5.
Okay, so we're not that far off.
No.
See, I've been cryptic all day, and Steven has been sitting here thinking I'm just going to trash both of these movies. But how could you not love Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, fuck Val Kilmer, together in any movie, especially a movie that's like this? It's a mind game, right? It's very well done. Had it been on the fucking West Coast, on the East Coast, I think it would have been better. But that's just me. I'm no casting director, but I'm gonna go with a 4. So there you go.
I mean, honestly, the only one that throws me off is the 3.5 for Raid.
Yeah,
that's the only one that throws me off. I figured you would like Heat. I didn't know you hated Val Kilmer, though.
I do not like Val Kilmer.
Very weird, subjective thing.
Well, should we get into why I don't like Val Kilmer?
I mean, is it because of his acting?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The year was 1995.
Okay.
I was a lad of 12 years old. My grandfather threw me and my cousin, who's 6 months older than me, in the car, and he said, "Boys, we're going to go to the movie."
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like I know where this is going.
So we get to the movie theater, and there's this huge poster of Batman. And I'm like, "Granddaddy, let's go watch Batman." Okay. We get our tickets. We go to the fucking movie. And as a 12-year-old, almost 13-year-old kid, it's Batman. It's awesome. So many years later, I go to recapture that feeling after my grandfather had passed away of, let's go watch Batman. And I pull up Batman Returns, and it's a giant fucking shit pile because of Val fucking Kilmer. Tell me it was.
I don't think it was because of Val Kilmer.
It was.
I think it was because of the director.
Val Kilmer was the worst Batman ever.
No, George Clooney was the worst Batman ever.
Wrong. I would say Ben Affleck was a better Batman than Val Kilmer.
Ben Affleck was but Ben Affleck wasn't a bad Batman. He wasn't. He just was in bad Batman movies, which is the same thing that happened to Val Kilmer. That movie is terrible. That entire movie is trash.
The only
you put me in a shitty movie. You put any actor in a terrible movie with a director that is a terrible director. You're not going to get a good performance. It's the same thing that happened in the fucking Star Wars prequel.
The only thing that Val Kilmer has ever done that is of any saving grace to his career was Tombstone.
What about Top Gun?
If you had put Tom Selleck in Top Gun, it would have been 10 times better. And Tom Selleck sucks.
I feel like I want to make sure I know who the director was of Batman Returns. No, it's not Batman Returns. What's the fucking one with Val Kilmer?
It was either Batman Returns or
It wasn't Batman Returns. That was the second one with Keaton.
It was in. It had to be 95, 96 because I was either 12 or 13.
It was Batman Forever.
Could have been.
And it was directed by Joel Schumacher,
What the
which,
fuck is that?
memory serves me correct, is the same person that directed Batman and Robin with George Clooney and dipshit fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. So again, that was a director's thing. That movie sucked because of who directed it. Facts. I don't think it was Val Kilmer.
All I'm saying is, if Iceman had been doing his fucking job, Maverick would have never lost Goose, and we would not be in this fucking situation that we were in Top Gun. So fuck Val Kilmer.
Again, that's not Val Kilmer. That's a goddamn script decision.
No, it's Val Kilmer's fault.
It's not like Val Kilmer walked up and was like, "Hey guys, I've got an idea. Hear me out."
He played a shit version of what's his name? God damn it, Jim Morrison. He got fucking Goose killed. If he hadn't have been, he was the worst Batman in the history of bad Batmans.
George Clooney,
wrong.
Is universally,
George Clooney is a handsome motherfucker that has a $40 million estate in goddamn Italy. You can suck George Clooney's dick.
He had Batman nipples.
I don't care.
He had a Batman credit card.
Yeah. Oh, that's a wardrobe problem.
No.
That's a prop. Again, that's a props decision and a wardrobe malfunction.
No, it was all the director. Joel Schumacher is insane.
Sorry.
Joel Schumacher is a terrible director. Again, none of this has anything to do with Val Kilmer.
It absolutely does.
Val Kilmer, and he did nothing in Heat that was bad. There's nothing that he did that was bad.
Yes, he did. You know what he did? He came out of his trailer and he walked onto the fucking set. That's what he did that was bad for that movie.
No.
And now he's a fat fuck that wears a bunch of goddamn Native American jewelry, which, by the way, is fucking racist. So he's also a racist, and he got Goose killed.
Oh my God. You can't even mean that. You know what else Joel Schumacher has directed? The Number 23 and 8mm with Nicolas Cage.
Well, Nicolas Cage, on the other hand, is a godsend to acting.
No. Nicolas Cage is... I can't even talk about Nicolas Cage. The Wicker Man is a masterpiece. Because Nicolas Cage dresses up in a bear suit and runs around punching women in the face. And they filmed it.
Okay.
That's in the movie.
And that's a bad thing because?
No, I think it was a great thing. I said it was a masterpiece. Okay. I think it's hilarious. But anyway, Val Kilmer, no. He's fine. He's just a decent actor. That you have ascribed this fact that Batman Forever is a shitty movie and you've placed the blame unfairly.
Oh, so you're saying Batman Forever is a great movie?
No, it's a terrible movie, but I think it was because
it's because of Val Kilmer.
It's because of Joel Schumacher.
If they had all I'm saying is if they had George Clooney playing Batman,
they did, and it was called Batman and Robin, and it's universally considered the worst Batman in any of the films.
Well, if we subscribe to whoever the fuck you were listening to.
Everyone. Have you watched Batman and Robin?
No.
Dude, it's so bad. It has Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. It has Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, and it has some other person playing Bane, but instead of Bane being like in The Dark Knight Returns, he's just a roided out, like, special needs person.
You had me at Uma Thurman.
Yeah, she used to be. But I think that's enough tangents.
So, yeah. So, what are we doing next week? You want to do John Wick?
I would love
because you literally, every action movie we do,
it always compares to John Wick.
It always gets compared to John Wick. So, I think, I fought through three. Uh, I'm not gonna use any descriptions here, but I sat through three Star Wars movies.
And you enjoyed one of them extremely
I did.
well.
A lot more than I enjoyed two of them. New Hope was good, and Empire
But we
Strikes
both
Back
agree that Empire
was great.
is great.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
can't say you struggled through them.
Now, well, I struggled through the third one. You know,
Return of the Jedi is, yeah, it's kind of trash.
pretty rough, but not bad, not bad. But I think I can make it through three John Wick movies.
Do you want to do all three of them?
Yeah, why not?
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. John
Yeah.
Wick marathon next week.
I mean, they're what, maybe an hour and a half long each?
Probably somewhere around
Yeah, I
there.
watched more Parks and Rec on Sunday than that, so not a big
Dude.
deal.
I'm telling you right now, after you watch the first one, you're going to be like, why have I waited this long?
I hope so, because when I watched what was it? I don't remember. There was one that we watched that I was like, "Why?" Oh, Polaroid, where I was like, "Why did I even pick this shit?" So,
Dude, John Glasscock in chat said that Clooney apologized for playing Batman and he played him as a homosexual.
wow.
Because I think I think I'm correct. Joel Schumacher is gay. And George Clooney did like an interview where he was talking about it and he was like, it was literally the worst experience of my life. I was in this fucking latex rubber whatever suit and I'm strapped into the fucking Batmobile. It's hot as shit. I can't breathe. And then you just hear Joel Schumacher and action. And then he'd be like, I'm Batman. Cut. Perfect. And that was like how the whole movie went.
Wow.
Yeah. But
All right, so yeah, next week, three John Wicks.
three
So,
John Wicks.
Yep.
Three John Wicks next
That's what
week.
we're gonna do.
All right, I'm down.
That's what we're gonna do. So we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Fucking Val Kilmer. It's such a weird